our lives. And coming down to the Daily Nation this morning just to see what is being reported. The top page here says moment of truth, road to 2027. Goes ahead to tell us that voters cast their ballots today in one of the country's most consequential by-elections for both President Ruto and the united opposition. The contest served to build political momentum, sway perception and gauge popularity ahead of the 2027 polls. But for the IEBC, this is an opportunity to gain the trust and confidence of the Kenyans. So definitely all eyes on them. The key players, as we mentioned yesterday, is President William Ruto, DCP party leader, Rigathi Gachagua, Wiper Party, boss Kalonzo Musyoka, Prime, CS, Musalia Mudavadi, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki, and IEBC chairperson Erastus Ethekon, whose eyes are on. So that's the story being reported, even with the tagline Road to 2027. Unease among us teachers over transition to SHA. This is something we had covered way before, but of course the conversation has come up again, and it says that unions are seeking members buy-in ahead of the shift. Murkomen saying we recalled bodyguards of top leaders for engaging in crime. Interesting here. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen has said some police officers have been interdicted after the VIPs they were assigned to protect engage in acts that breach the peace. They include officers attached to Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya, who alleged a scheme to silence him, a story that has been reported right there on page 2. And also see state ignores court order flatten city estate houses. So the demolition old houses in Makongeni Estate, Nairobi, is to pave way for the government housing project was completed yesterday evening despite a court order stopping it. And most of the tenants had already moved out, with the Affordable Housing Board hailing the eviction as successful. The board said every household received 150,000 shillings in compensation to seek alternative housing. This is quite interesting, a story covered on page 8, and one can only say that this was a wise decision, especially with ensuring that these people who have to be evicted have been settled, because it would have been terrible that they just are evicted without any form of reprieve. Now, let's go to the Standard newspaper and see what is being reported. 2027 dress rehearsal, that is the top story. The country's 24 by-elections have morphed into a bruising proxy war between President William Ruto and his estranged deputy Rigathi Gachagua, a battle for political survival that is disguised as local contest. Every ward and constituency has become a testing ground for 2027, with money, state machinery and ethnic loyalties pulling in opposite directions. The outcomes could redraw alliances and marks the depth of interference and jolt the country's political architecture in ways that will echo far beyond these mini polls. Pages 4, 6, 7 and 8 is where you find that story. And of course, it goes ahead to give us a quote here from Douglas Kanja, who is the Inspector General of Police, saying the NPS reiterates its unwavering commitment to executing its duties impartially, professionally, and in strict adherence to the Constitution in order to facilitate a peaceful, free, fair, and credible electoral process. All eyes are on the IEBC in this season, because again, this is what will be a litmus test for the 2027 poll election, so that now people will know, can we truly trust the IEBC to deliver a free and fair election? And I also see real estate here. The pullout says construction sector rebound rescues economy. That has been covered right there. And lastly, let us have a look at the Business Daily this morning, and it goes with the headlines. 25,000 SACCOs risk closure over missing audit reports. Yeah, this is interesting. Yeah. I'm seeing here non-compliant cooperatives face certificate cancellation, steps up and crackdown on fraud and also mismanagement. A story that has been covered on the Business Daily. For those who are in SACCOs, it's important to check that your SACCO is well audited and approved, because nowadays you need to be careful where you put your money. I'm seeing Kenya's richest 1% get about half of new wealth created. So the richest 1% of Kenyans got 40% of the new wealth created in the country amid strong economic growth over the last decade, increasing their fortunes as the number of extremely poor Kenyans burdened by millions. A story that has been covered as well on page 4 rather of the Business Daily. I'm seeing Michael Macharia with a quote here on the intelligence pullout. Every morning, the African founder wakes up knowing he or she must outrun the predator behind them. And also, there's a live pullout here saying that why Nairobians are in a crazy rush for Christmas garlands. This is quite interesting. I mean, you know, as African countries, we never used to be so excited about the, you know, decorations for Christmas and all that. But this time, I'm telling you, things have really shifted. You go to supermarkets and they're stocked up with these things. And everywhere you go, everyone is trying to ensure that their homes look Christmassy. But let us remember the reason for the season. It's not just about the decorations and everything looking good and shiny and sparkling, but rather it's about time to commemorate and remember the birth of Jesus Christ, the Savior of the world, who was born to us. So it's a beautiful thing when we understand the reason for the season, so that season does not just pass us by and we are just exhausted from running around, but rather we have had moments of reflection to thank the Lord that He thought of us, thought of you and I, and brought Jesus Christ into the world, that He may die for us, that we may be saved, that we may attain forgiveness. The light came when Jesus was born. So that's the end of our newspaper review. Please do grab a copy of your favorite. At this point, let us have a look at the video of the day.